welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be reacting to your baby name suggestions, and oh my gosh, okay, so I asked on my Instagram for suggestions for baby boy names, because if you're new here, hi, my name is Erica. I'm currently almost 19 weeks pregnant with baby boy number 2. I have a 2-year-old toddler little boy. His name is Hugo. There are names on this list that rocked Jeff and I to our core. Some of these names we now have on like our short list for baby boy. Before I jump into the video, this video is super special because it is a collab with my sweet friend here on YouTube, Marion, for my Jewish mommy life. She is a mom and a Jewish mom creating content on YouTube. What I love about her content is that it is so sweet and so inspiring, but also really informative. She has 2 young sons, one 3-year-old, one 1-year-old. She's one of my absolute favorite YouTubers, so definitely go check her out. Tell her I sent you. Don't forget to subscribe to her channel. I will also link her Instagram down below. She is making a biblical baby names video, so if you want to narrow in on those biblical names, if that's what you're looking for your little one, then definitely go and check out her video. Thank you, Marion, for collabing with me. It's such an honor. And all right, let's get into this list. Organization purposes, what I did was I put all the names together by letter. So we'll start with A, we'll go all the way to Z. I'll share with you the names that you guys mentioned. I'll also share if multiple people had mentioned them. At the very end, I will share our absolute favorite name on this list. So let's jump in first with the letter A. We have Aaron, Aiden, Andrew, Arthur, Abraham, Alexander, Alaric, hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Augie. So I thought Alaric was so cool. It reminds me of the name Alec, which I really like. I thought that that was such a unique one. I like Alexander, but we have a lot of Alexanders in our family, so I think we're gonna give that one a skip. And I also love the name Andrew. Andrew is such a favorite name of mine. So let's move on to B now. We have Boaz, which, you know, my dad recommended. Bentley, Barrett, Benjamin, and Bennett. We really like Bennett. Bennett was actually a name that Jeff and I both were highly considering for this baby. I am guessing it's still on the list. We haven't taken it off the list, so there you go. Let's go to C. So we have Cruz, Callum, Chase, Caleb, Caspian, Clay, Kelvin, Kyle, and Cash. All really awesome name choices. I really like Caspian. I think that's really cool. With D, we have Dawson, Damien, David, Deacon. Deacon had 2 votes. Dalton, Desi, Dominic, and Declan. I really like from all those D names Damien. Damien has always been a name that's been on my baby boy list. Guys, I've had baby lists since like before I even met Jeff. Just anytime I heard a cute baby name, I wrote it down. Jeff is not a huge fan of Damien, so that unfortunately is not on the list anymore. Desi is cute. Desi reminds me of I Love Lucy. E, we have Edward, Elwood, Elias, Emmett, Evan, Ephraim, Emery, Ezra, Easton, and Enzo. So Elias got 2 votes, and we won't be using Elias because I have a cousin who named their baby Elias, and it's such a cute name. But I don't know, we're the type of people that, like, if we have immediate family with those names, we'll like keep the name, like that person can keep the name, and we'll pick something different. A name that we really love is Emery, and one of my sweet Instagram friends said that they were thinking for their little boy to have Emery Jack as the name. And what I love about that, and something that I've been really drawn to this pregnancy, are unisex names, like gender fluid names, names that are traditionally more feminine but that are being used as male names and vice versa. What I really love about Emery Jack is I love that Emery sounds a little more, it sounds a little more feminine, but when paired with Jack, I don't know, it sounds really cool. You get that like male energy and female energy, and I really like that. Let's go to F names. Fletcher, Finn got 2 votes. Floyd, Finley, and Flynn. Finn and Flynn. So love Flynn because of Flynn Rider. Guys, I always make movie in my head. Everything is like connected to a movie. Finn reminds me of Star Wars, which I love. And I really like Finley. That's a cute one. That's definitely not one that I have I don't think I've ever heard of Finley. G names, we have Gabriel, Grayson. Both Gabriel and Grayson were suggested by 2 people. Gideon, George, and Graham. So let me just tell you that George is one of those names. I'm gonna make a like baby names I love and won't be using. George is the top of that list. If Jeff liked George, then I would be all about our next baby being George. I would have been all about Hugo being George. I just love the name George. It's also a royal name and I love the royals. George reminds me of George Banks from Father of the Bride, which is my favorite movie of all time. And so like, I love everything about George. I love everything about George, but Jeff doesn't love it. So unfortunately, that's not what we'll be going with. H names, Harvey, Hayes, which was suggested by 2 people, Hunter, Holt, Harrison, that was given to me by 3 people, Hudson, Hayden, and Henry. Henry was 3 people too. So I really love Henry. I think it's such a cute little boy name. Oh my goodness, and such a wearable name from, you know, infancy all the way up to when that little boy is all grown up. We won't be going with Henry though, because again, we have a family member whose name is Henry. And I like Harrison. It reminds me of Harrison Ford. That's a cool one. I really like Hayden because Hayden reminds me of Hayden Christensen. Star Wars reference there too. Guys, if you're new here, I'm a big nerd. And what I also like about Hayden is, again, it's a bit of a unisex name. There's girls out there named Hayden and there's boys out there named Hayden. I like Holt, but it reminds me of the department store in Canada that's called, I think, Holt Renfrew, something like that. So that probably won't be one that we consider. And Harvey's gonna have to be a hard pass because I think of Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, no. Let's go with I names. We have Isaac, Isaiah, and Indy. Indy is so cute. Indy reminds me of, do any of you guys watch Bluey? The kid show Bluey? It's from Australia. It is so cute. One of the little characters on that show, her name is Indy, and I love that. I think it's so cute. Moving into J names now. Jason, Jacob, Jafar, Jackson with an X, Jackson with CK, Jonah, James, and Josiah. So on this list, both Jeff and I really love James. We do. We love James. James was on the short list for a long time. Recently, we gave it a pass. There was no reason. I mean, if you have kids and you know, like, some names just like you just feel it in your bones. And there's no reason why you don't necessarily like a name, but you just feel like, okay, that's not the baby's name. And that's kind of how we felt with James. Jafar, I don't think we can go with Jafar. That's a strong Aladdin tie there, and Jafar is unfortunately in that movie a villain. It's a cool name though. I mean, love Jackson with the X and with the CK, that's pretty cool. All those J names are pretty awesome. Only K name I got was Kai, and I thought this was a really unique and beautiful name. K-A-I, really short, very strong name, but there's also a bit of this like movement to it and this gentleness to it. So yeah, I really love that. L names, okay, we have quite a few. We have Luke, Liam. Liam got 2 votes. Leonardo / like all the nicknames that come with Leonardo, 2. Logan was recommended by 2 people. Lennox, Lenny. Lucas, which was recommended by 3 people. Leor, Levi, Louis, Liam, Lowland, and Luca. So, some really cool names in the L category. Leonardo / Leo is a huge favorite of ours and has been on our baby boy list and is on this little guy's list for sure. Leor, I thought was really cool. It's like Dior, but with an L. I thought that name was really cool, really different. I've never heard of that before. I also really like Lennox. There's something super cool. Again, like this like gender fluid name of like boy or girl, just like cool, like just a cool name. Lowland is very different. And yeah, Liam is cute, Luca is cute. Luca is the name of our little cousin's son, so we're gonna give that one a miss. Feet are falling asleep. Hold on. Okay, my feet are asleep, so I've had to like reposition myself a little bit. Hopefully that's okay. M names. Okay, M is a bit of a tricky one because our last name starts with an M. So we have Mateo, Milo, which got 2 votes, Max, Martin, Miles, Maverick, and Miles again, but spelled with a Y instead of an I. So really Miles got 3 votes. Okay, let's talk about the M names. M is tricky. I think especially with a boy name, there are M girl names that kind of sound cute with our last name Moulton, but all the M names that I've come across I haven't loved with Moulton. That being said, Milo Moulton sounds cute. It definitely sounds cute. It seems like, it's a little sing-songy for me. Max Martin, I'm pretty sure he's a producer. Right? Like, didn't he produce one of Britney Spears' songs? Okay, I've had to stand up because my feet are completely falling asleep. And I need them to wake up. Let's move to the end names. Nicholas, Newt, Noah, Nathaniel, and Nolan. Both Nicholas and Noah were suggested to me by 2 separate people. The person who suggested Newt said like Newt Scamander from Fantastic Beasts. And you know, listen, your audience knows ya. Your audience knows ya. I think that's super cute. Noah and Nathaniel are 2 names that have been on my like personal baby boy name list forever. They're like George. If Jeff turned around and was like, yeah, I love the name Nathaniel, or yeah, I love the name Noah, then we would definitely be using one of those names, because I think that they're both so classic and so beautiful and just great. I just love them. But Jeff doesn't like either of them. And when you're naming a baby, it's gotta be like a pretty, you know, it's gotta be a compromise. So, unfortunately, neither of those. Nicholas is a nice name. We both really like Nicholas. Nolan's cool. Nolan's cool. To the O names, we have Oliver, which, along with a name that I'll mention soon, got like the most suggestions. Owen, Oren, Ori, and Oscar. So Oliver had 5 different people suggested, sorry, plop. 5 different people suggested Oliver, and I think Oliver is such a sweet name. It is, I don't know, to me it sounds like a vintage name, but also one that is completely wearable today. It's one of those names that, again, like fits your little person from when they are small, all the way up till they grow up. I just think it's so cute. Owen is the name of my husband's uncle, so we won't be using that. Oren and Ori are really cool. I've never heard of those, and there's something really cool about those. Huge fan. The P name that was recommended to me was Peter. I am a huge fan of the name Peter. I really like it. We get to the letter Q. So the name that was recommended here was Quinn, and I thought, wow, what a unique name suggestion for a baby boy. Quinn is not a name that, I don't think I've ever met any guys with the name Quinn, but it definitely could fit. Like, it definitely could work. And I really, really like it. And Jeff really, really liked it. So that was cool. That was a name that both of us kind of paused and were like, whoa, that is a cool name. Let's move to the letter R. We have Reginald, or Reggie for short, Ralph, River, Ronan, Rex, and Remy. So I will tell you that Remy was actually on our short list for this little guy. Again, we are looking for unique names that are a little bit different but not unheard of. We both also, I've mentioned this 85 million times during this video, but we are both gravitating more toward gender fluid names, names that are a little more unisex. So Remy fits that as well. I also really like River. I did not think of River as a boy's name. All of the Rivers that I've heard of in the past few years have been little girls, but River would be a cool one for a little boy, totally. Moving to S now, we have Sawyer, Sterling, and Sam. Sam is the name of my grandfather. It was sort of his nickname. His actual name was Simon, both of which I love. And Sawyer and Sterling are both super cool too. I really like Sterling. All right, moving to T now. 3 pretty cool names. We have Theodore, which tied with Oliver for how many people suggested it to me. We have Theoden, and I believe this name is pronounced Tag. It's an Irish name. It's spelled T-A-D-G-H, and I think you pronounce it Tag. And please correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. Okay, we have to talk about Theoden. We have to talk about it. So maybe a huge percentage of you are like, oh, that's a cool name. Like, what an interesting twist on Theodore. Well, it's a name from The Lord of the Rings, and Anna, who suggested it to me, knew that. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's on my baby boy name list. Now here's the thing. I love tying, oh sorry, so the guys outside mowing the lawn, if you can hear that. I love tying our baby names to the stories that I love the most. That's just like where my heart is. Hugo is really special to us because, well, to me, because like how I got away with Originally I wanted to, like, I really love the name Viggo, and I was like, oh, it's like after Viggo Mortensen, who played Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings. Jeff wasn't on board for that. Hugo is a cool one because Hugo Weaving, the actor, played Elrond in Lord of the Rings. So there's a tie there, even though it's not glaringly obvious. Theoden, the king of the Rohan people, is just too glaringly obvious for my husband. Which is interesting because I don't think a lot of people would know Theoden is from Lord of the Rings. It's not like you're naming your kid Gandalf or Frodo, but he's just not down for it. I will say the baby boy name that we really love, that is like right now in the #1 spot, we like reserve the right to change our mind, was not mentioned here on this list at all. Was not mentioned on Instagram. Has a bit of a tie to Lord of the Rings as well. So I'm kind of feeling like, is that like pushing me over the edge? Anyway, Theoden is awesome. Theodore is amazing. If you guys have been here for a while, you know Hugo was almost Theodore. So that's a name we definitely love, and Tag is a cool one too. All right, let's move to V. Victor. Victor. I like Victor. Victor's a cool one. Victor reminds me of Corpse Bride and Victor Garber, I think his name is. Pretty cool actor. Love Victor. Let's move to W now. We have Winston and William. So William is actually Hugo's middle name. It's my dad's name. So we already have that name in the mix. And Winston is really cool. Winston Moulton just sounds a little too, maybe a tiny bit too pretentious. So we might have to give Winston a skip. And the very last name on the list is Xander. Xander's cute. Xander is oftentimes a nickname for Alexander. The same little boy in our family whose name is Alexander, we sometimes call him Xander. So that is like nuclear, like very close family. So we'll be skipping out on Xander, but that is such a cute option. Hey guys, and that's the whole list. So before I finish out the video, I will tell you the names that we love the absolute most off this list, and the names that have now made it onto our like short list, our baby name short list. And that is Quinn and Emery. We love both of those names so much. What great suggestions. We never ever in a million years would have thought of Quinn, ever. We love that it starts with a Q. Like, how original and unique is that? So cool. And we just like, it just, I don't know, like when you mention a name and you and your spouse just kind of both connect over it, like that's what happened with Quinn, which was pretty cool. And then Emery, I am in love with Emery. I, again, never would have thought of that name on my own. I love Emery Jack. I think that that is such a cute combination. Like, don't be mad at me if I steal that from you. But I just love that, like, longer, more fluid, more, not even feminine, but like, just more like ethereal almost Emery. That sounds so beautiful with the shorter, more masculine Jack. I think that that's such a beautiful combination. So yeah, those two names are names that all of a sudden now we have in our pool, in our like little list of names. Thank you guys so much for all your suggestions. This was so much fun. I absolutely love doing this. If you are interested in knowing what we're gonna name this little boy, we will announce it when he is born. And I will be doing, like I mentioned, like a baby names I love but won't be using name list. So if you don't wanna miss that, don't forget to subscribe. Check out Marion's channel and check out her video of biblical names. Don't forget to subscribe to her. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.